Hey guys, this is Tech Howdy. I welcome you to another video tutorial where we are building the CMS application using ASP.NET Core 3 and Angular 10. In the last video tutorial, we were testing the add user functionality. When we tested the add user functionality, we couldn't see the preview image of the user. So if we go back to the application, you will see under the user section, all users, we will have this user list where when we created this test user, we couldn't see their preview image. Whereas when we edited the user, we could add the image of the user or add a new image for the existing user in the edit functionality. It was working fine. Now the issue at what we have while we add a user is we have a default profile image that we use in case an image is not added, and the default profile image is located and stored inside the folder for if we go to images, if we go to uploads, and then under user you'll see the profile, and here we have a folder which contains the default profile image. Now we are getting the default profiles image extension, which is .jpeg, and we are storing it in extension. While we add this image path to the database, we also use the same extension, which is the extension we got from the default image. But whereas when a user uploads an image, the image can be PNG or some other format. So if we go back to the application, you will notice that if I right click on this or inspect this image, the path that we received from the database is .jpeg, whereas when the image that I had uploaded had a extension of .png. So by default, any extension image that you add, it will store it as JPEG. That was the problem that was caused over here. So to fix this, what we can do is I can just change this to .jpeg, and also the extension of the image that we are uploading. I don't need to get the extension from the image, because what I can do is I can set the default extension to be JPEG for any image that is uploaded in my application. So any image that is uploaded will be stored as .jpg now. So make sure if you want to store it as PNG or some other format, you can change it over here, or you can change the DB image path after you have got the new path from the profile image. So it's up to you. You can do this, or you could change the extension once again over here before. So we got the new extension. You could update the DB image path with the new extension, or you can do the thing that I did, which is I will set a default extension for any image that is uploaded. So I will go ahead and save all the images, profile images that are uploaded as .jpeg. So this will now make sure that any image that is uploaded in my application is always .jpeg. To test this, we'll go ahead and run this application and add a new user to make sure that we can see the image. So here I have added the details of the user that I need to add in my application. So uploaded or updated the form to add a new user with the details. I've added a image for the user, and I've filled out all of the information, and I'm going to now go ahead and add this user. So let's click add. Breakpoint should be hit at the back end. Yes, because I set a breakpoint. And now if I hit the next breakpoint and check the DB image path, you can see it's .jpeg. That's the extension we set. So now all images will be stored as .jpeg in the database, as well as when we copy them to the folder, they will be stored as JPEG. So let's look at this. If we go to the root folder, to the uploads folder, user, and here if we look at the profile folder where we are going to copy this image at this point. So let's put a breakpoint over here and here, and let's hit F5, and just keep your eyes or pay attention to this profile folder. There should be an image being generated over there with the name 203708079.jpg. So let's see. So now you see that the image is generated, and I'm going to hit F5, and now let's go ahead and hit F5 again so we can go and test this in our browser. So the user was created. If I hit OK, now let's go back, close this, and you can see that Kevin 20, that's the user I just added. the user has his profile image created. If I right click and inspect the image, we have got the correct JPEG extension, which we always use now, because our default extension is .jpeg, and we can see the profile image. Let's also go ahead and change the profile image for this user. Let's add an image for this user and update this. So update functionality also works, as you know. So the image is updated now, and now we should have the correct profile picture being displayed. Now we have fixed the add user functionality. Everything in the add user works fine. Now the next thing that we want to do is delete a user. As I mentioned, the delete functionality, we will not delete the user from the database, so we will mark the user as inactive. So what we need to do over here is go ahead and just delete these users that I just added. So the user is deleted, the list is updated. Again, I go ahead and delete this test user I created, so the user is deleted and the list is updated. So I don't see any users that are not active right now in this list, but the non-active users are still there in our database. If we go and if we hit run, here I had created some test users, but you could see that the user that I just deleted was Kevin 20, and if I go and see the status of this users, so you can see is active is set to 0, which means that it's false and the user's profile will not be displayed on the list. So if you want to remove the user and their details, you can go ahead and remove it instead of marking them as inactive. That's totally up to you and your requirement. But as I mentioned, if you're building a CMS application, in many cases you would want to store the user's information for certain amount of days or certain number of days before you completely delete it. So now we have fixed this issue. Let's go back to our application, and what are we going to do next? We are going to work on the user role section. So we have to create this view and fix all the issues in that view. And also we will be then, after creating the user role section, we will be working on the email service and validating or adding XSRF or cross-site tokens in our application. I'll show you how to use the uh, and validate the anti-forgery tokens in our application so we can use them. So then I think we would be done with the backend completely in terms of the admin functionality. Then we will start working on the Angular 10 application that we are building, so which will be the client side completely, which will have the login functionality and the logout functionality. We will discuss about it when we get there, but for now this video tutorial was just on fixing the issues that we had in the user list table while editing and adding user. So we have finished testing this. This should work fine. And now let's go ahead and work on the user roles. We will start working on the user role on the next video tutorial. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also note that all this code is available in the DevOps repo, so you will find the link in the video description. Thank you.